question submitted to me from a viewer in St. Louis, and ironically, he was my supervisor when my boss when I was an intern in the Jackson Sun in Jackson, Tennessee, as a photographer. And so here's, the man who knew more about Photoshop when I was working for him, and now he's asking me a question about Photoshop. So he pretty much had it down. He just was confirming with me some issues. So what I have done is I have created a file based off of a generic signature, and we'll get it open for you here on the screen. And that was from last week. So let's go to this week. And we have the wonderful spinning beach ball phenomenon. There we go. And let us crop some things. Hey, you're not. You weren't supposed to see part of that. But it happens when you're running live. I try to plan these things out, really. So I just crop this here for you. Now that's what you're supposed to see. So let's rotate this image. Normally I do this with keyboard shortcuts, and when I use a different account it doesn't necessarily work that way. So image, rotate. Alright, so let's just do a quick cleanup. This was my signature. Get it? Signature. I just take the lasso tool and do a quick selection. Let's inverse the selection. And make sure down here where we have the background, I'm not sure if you can see it, so I'm going to zoom in. Default background and background colors, we want that. And when we hit delete, it'll fill it with white. So when I scan this in, I wanted to scan it as big as possible. Now on this particular scanner, I had to do a quick scan. Couldn't get it higher than 600. But this is typical. Normally I would scan it and recommend something a little different, but not everyone has that capability. So sometimes I just show you the quickest way. Drop it to 300. Resample unchecked. That way we don't blow it up. We're not adding pixels or taking pixels away. We're merely adjusting how they're arranged. And then we're putting it in a sort of like a package, 300 ppi, which is a standard high resolution number. So let's go to our pencil tool. Hit the bracket keys, make a bigger brush. Hit X on the keyboard to go to the white color. And we can just clean that up. We might not have to clean up all these edges because we're going to do something to blow out the contrast. But I did want to make sure it was decent. And just go in here with black now. And I'm being very careful not to alter the signature. I'm just merely filling in some of the blank areas, because we don't want to lose it. We don't want it to break up too much. You might have to make the brush a little bit smaller. And I'm just going, like I said, just filling that in there. And this is, what you would call rebuilding. It's very important to know how to rebuild things without losing yourself and losing the image, altering it unnecessarily. So from here I like to go to what's called curves. You can do the same thing with levels. A lot of people use levels. Let's just do that. Here we have our mountain histogram built up way on the sides.